Yeah, man. The play-in tournament has begun officially tonight, which means the playoffs are officially beginning April 20th. As you can see, I pulled up the screen. I had a few thoughts I wanted to kind of get off my brain real quick about just the landscape and the seeding and the brackets and who's playing who and what matchup may align with what team. In this situation, as well, beginning with the play-in, of course, you got the play-in, which is the Warriors. They lost. They took the L. So you got the Kings and the Pelicans. They're playing tonight to decide who are going to play the number one seed, Oklahoma City, as you can see right here. Got my arrow. So the Oklahoma City Thunder is waiting on tonight's winner of that game. The Pelicans don't have Zion because of the hamstring situation when he injured himself in the Lakers play-in game. The Kings are kind of getting themselves back into shape, getting themselves back in gear. They still are missing a lot of key pieces, of course. Malik Monk, their sixth man, or the reigning sixth man of the year from last year. That is a huge part of their team. He's out for probably the whole playoffs. Now, Lakers, of course, is going to play the Denver Nuggets. That'll be tomorrow, I believe. That begins tomorrow. Let me see here. No, I'll get to that another time. But the other playing game, you got the 76ers who beat the Heat to get that seventh spot. They're now going to play the Heat. They're now going to play the Bulls. So that's the game that's actually underway at the moment as I'm recording this for you guys. The Heat now, they're not going to have Jimmy Butler in this game. So they're going to be playing the Chicago Bulls, who are kind of streaking right now. Kobe White's been playing extremely well. He should be easily a building piece for that team going forward as they begin to rebuild this team, because bringing DeMar DeRozan back, I don't know what that achieves for the foreseeable future, as this team needs to get younger and it needs to get more athletic. It needs to get cheaper. So the Bulls, they have a shot to win this game against the Heat, but this is a big spot. The Heat are tested. They've been here before. Hell, they were the eighth seed and went all the way to the finals. I mean, they did something that we haven't seen in recent memory. So, can you count them out all the way? Not really, especially with home court, especially with a bunch of guys there who's done it before. Bam will still be playing. I'm not sure if Tyler Hero will be playing. I would assume he'll be playing, but being that it's, all or nothing tonight. But that should be good. The Heat and the Bulls. So, they're playing each other with the distinct honor to play the Boston Celtics, the number one team in the league. 64-18, as you can see right here. They have the best record in the league. They have home court throughout the playoffs. If they make it to the finals, they will also have home court. Now, I mean, the sea has parted its ways for this Celtics team. They have a clear pathway all the way into the finals. They have a clear pathway. They are not going to have to play the Bucks until maybe the end. They're not going to have to play the Knicks until the end. So they're just going to have a cakewalk if they do what is necessary, if they do take care of business. And with that team, you never know. If you get them in the final minutes of games, they crumble. The execution is poor. They jack up threes even when they shouldn't. This is Joe Mazzulla's offense. This is Joe Mazzulla's philosophy. They have the opportunity to bring it home, bring a championship home with a 64-18 record. What other team you can remember in recent memory that you can think of watching this game that's won that many games and not took home the championship in the end of it? So this is like almost historical precedence if they don't at least make it to the NBA Finals. So Celtics, they get to wait and see who's going to come out, the Bulls and the Heat. Either team should get steamrolled by the Celtics. I mean, they are deep throughout, great bench, even greater starting five. So we'll see what happens on that end. So both of those two playing games are going to be happening. One just started. That's the Bulls and the Heat. I will be getting to that after this recording. And yeah, but other than that, you have we're gonna go through the East first. I'm gonna go on the other side here, right here on the right side here. You got the number 2 seed, the New York Knicks, going against the 76ers. Now, Knicks haven't had Julius Randle throughout. He's going to be missing throughout the whole playoffs because of the shoulder situation. And you have Embiid. Embiid's back, but he's playing himself into shape after tearing his meniscus 2 months ago. Now, this guy's a like 280-pound, 300-pound man, 7'2", 7'1", however tall he is. So running back and forth up and down the court is not the best way to rehab through an injury, especially when it's one of your limbs, like your knee. So Embiid is going to get a lot of looks, of course. He's going to get a lot of pressure, a lot of two-man looks, a lot of big guys leaning on him. That's what I would do if I was Tibbs. I would just have all the big guys, anybody that's guarding them, just lean on them. Wear them out. Because this will be a grind type of series. The Knicks, they are grinders. Pause. They like to grind out games, get teams down to those final moments, because they play all 40 minutes. That team is like a team full of dogs. Exciting team. It's good to see New York doing good, because the league is a better place when the New York Knicks is a good team. That's just face. It's like the Lakers. If the Lakers are competitive, the league is good. If the Knicks are competitive, the league is good. If the Celtics are competitive, the league is good. Notice that I've named all blue chips. They're like blue chip stocks. Those are franchises that have been around for decades with prominent histories and big sports markets, of course. So, like I said, I'm gonna stay in the East. The Bucks going against the Pacers. The Bucks are not gonna have Giannis. Chances are he's not gonna come back from this calf situation that he's got going on from the Boston game. So he's gonna be out 2 to 4 weeks. Even if he came back in the 3rd week, who knows what this series is gonna be? If the Bucks are down 0-2 or 3-1 or something like that, it doesn't make sense to bring Giannis back. You might as well sit him down for the rest of the year. But the Bucks is gonna have their hands full, because this team, the Pacers, are not the type of matchup they need to be dealing with, because they're young and they got size. And without Giannis, you don't have that athleticism that you need on the block and on the perimeter when it comes to defending Halliburton and defending the bigs. And so don't be surprised if the Pacers beat the Bucks. Dame Lillard doesn't look the same, man. And that's my guy. Dame Lillard is my guy. But he just don't look the same. He don't look the same, man. I don't know what it is, but man's is not looking the same. That's all. It could be just age, man. He's getting up there in age. He's around his mid-30s. And stuff catches up, especially when you're a smaller guard, getting guarded by a lot of these younger dudes who are they seem like they're getting taller by the year, by the class. Talking about like these wing guys who playing on the sides, like who defend like 6'6", 6'7" guys. Like, it's crazy. Like, now you got the Cavaliers versus the Magic. That series will be interesting, because the Magic, this is like their first time really entering into something like this, into the playoffs, because they're like the youngest team in the league, I think. And you got Powell, Banchero, star on Magic. You got Cole Anthony. You got a lot of young stars. Franz Wagner. Magic are good, man. They're like a piece away. Honestly, they like a piece away. If you could get the Magic like an established veteran, like a Paul George type, who is going to be a free agent after this season, if you can grab somebody like that, you can really make some headway. Like, Magic are really good. They like the best defense in the league. They're all young. Like I said again, they're all young. So this team's going to only get better as time goes on. The Cavaliers, this is just a transition period for them. Donovan Mitchell is not going to be there forever. We all know that. So, he's coming back from injury as well. Who knows how that's going to go. Garland usually cooks the Magic too. So, you're going to need a lot of Garland on this dish if you want to get past the Magic, because it's going to take a lot, because that team is young and they're just lengthy, man. They really get into their opponents as far as defensively. They struggle on the offensive side, but so does Cleveland at times, because Mobley is not the biggest scorer and Jared Allen's not the biggest scorer either. That's your front court. So, be an exciting series. So, that's the East Coast right there. Far as the playoff bracket is concerned, let me get to the West bracket real quick. So the Thunder is waiting. Like I said, the Thunder is waiting for the 7th and 9th seed to settle who's gonna ultimately take that 8th spot, and they're just gonna play the Thunder. So SGA, this is be his first time really showcasing himself in this spot, being the number 1 seed, being one of the future NBA stars in the league coming up. So this is important for him to showcase, his team being on the cusp, being one of the new teams to look out for, being the new number 1 seed, surpassing the Nuggets and surpassing the Wolves toward the end of the season to get that spot. So they should surely should steamroll either the Kings or the Pelicans, especially if the Pelicans ain't got Zion, ain't even going to be close. So that's a wrap for that. I mean, that ain't even going to be close. I'm going to zoom that in again so y'all can see him. Let's get to the 2nd seed. The Nuggets playing the Lakers. So, of course, this is a rematch from last year's Western Conference Finals, where the Lakers got swept. Now, to be fair, a lot of those games were close games. A lot of those games came down to the end. But the Nuggets were just too much in the end. They're probably, in my opinion, I think they're the best team when it comes to crunch time in the end of games. When it's like 4 minutes to go, 6 minutes to go, they just zone in. They're on a different level when it comes to execution toward the end of games. So they just executed the hell out of the Lakers last season. But now the Lakers is a different team. AD's played one of the healthiest seasons he's played in recent memory, and then you got LeBron, who's shooting better than he's ever shot. So and D'Lo showing up now and being a little more consistent, being a more reliable. But now people are expecting D'Lo to continue to play the way he's been playing. That's putting a lot of expectations on that guy's shoulders, especially when he usually doesn't deliver in this time, in these spots when it comes to the playoffs. Playoffs is a different beast. It's a different animal. Not everybody can play, and this is 2 different seasons. This is why I love the NBA, because the level ratchets up. Usually the best stars show out, and usually the best teams win. That's just the way it goes. It's no fluke shit like you see with the NFL. It's a lot of fluke shit that goes on with there, because it's like the NCAA tournament. One win you're in, and that's it. It's sudden death. Winner goes home, goes on. Loser goes home. So it's not a best of series like this. The league is just in a really cool place. A lot of cool, great young stars coming up. Guys who got a lot to prove during this playoff run, as LeBron gets closer and closer to the sunrise or the sun setting on his career. Now, when you think about it, you got the number 2 seed, like I said, the Lakers. They're playing the Nuggets. The Nuggets they're just all reliable at this point. They execute. We expect nothing but the best from them. But this might not be the easiest series. But listen, I expect them to win this series at least 5. I'm picking them in 5. I wouldn't be surprised if it went 6. Because, like I said, this Lakers team is a lot better than they were last year. But let's be clear. If you're not a Lakers fan, because those guys, or a LeBron fan, we got to put you guys in there as well. The, you believe with you use your heart over your head, and if you use your head says the Lakers cannot beat the Denver Nuggets, and it's 7-game series. Can the Lakers maybe sneak one out? Sure, maybe 2. I wouldn't be surprised, but to beat the Nuggets 4 times in a series is going to be a tough feat for any team this entire playoffs. So, and the Lakers is, to me, is just, they don't have enough to beat that team. But it'll be good games, man. It'll be competitive. They will surely be competitive, for sure. Jesus, every time I go and try to get rid of that thing and it disappears. So you go to the Timberwolves versus the Suns. So that's going to be a pretty cool series. You got Anthony Edwards, who's kind of coming into his own stardom as, you know, a future superstar in the league, going up against his favorite player, as he said. He said KD is his favorite player, and KD is coming to town. And so the Wolves haven't really fared well with the Suns all season. They are 3. They had them, you know, they played them 3 times, and they've lost to them all 3 times convincingly. So will that carry over into the playoffs? Usually indications say you wouldn't want to count on that, but it is a metric you want to look at because it shows that the Suns can hang with that team. But with Karl Anthony Towns coming back, that's added more size, more skilled size to the lineup on the front court. And it's just going to be just too much, I think, for KD to overcome. He's going to be required to put up a lot of points offensively, but he's going to also be required to put up a lot of minutes on the defensive side to really combat those guys, Gobert, Rudy Gobert, and Karl Anthony Towns. Because, you know, rebounds and getting out on the break is important for the Suns. And if they don't get those boards because of the lack of size and skill at that position, then it's just going to be an uphill climb. I expect the Timberwolves to win this series, but we'll see what happens. You know, that wouldn't surprise me if KD goes, you know, out of this world, and, you know, only KD can stop KD. So we'll see. It'll be an interesting series nevertheless. Clippers and Mavericks. That's going to be another good one. Now, Kyrie and Luka is playing out of their minds together. They figured it out. I didn't think they would, but they've seemed to figure something out. They seem to mesh together now. They seem happy together. As like last year, it was just like, oh, what are we doing? Is it your turn? Is it my turn? Now it's more of a fluidness to it. It's more organic in how they conduct their offense together, you know, and it's been a beautiful thing to watch for the last several weeks. Now they're going to carry that on into the Clippers. Now the Clippers, they're just a bunch of old guys at this point. Can they stay healthy is always the question every year with the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard banged up again. But I don't like when people get upset with Kawhi and his situation, because Kawhi really do, if you really pay attention to reports or you pay attention to this, you know, I do it hyperly almost because I'm like a nerd with this type of, you know, this type of stuff. I follow the news, I follow the interviews and all of that stuff. But if you understood what the hell Kawhi Leonard goes through just to play a game, then you would see, like, this guy has really messed up knees, man. I mean, he's like Brandon Roy out here running around and still able to get, you know, some playing time out of, you know, what he has left. And the thing with Kawhi is how do you stretch him out? How do you get the best out of him before he ultimately combusts? So who knows? You can see the Clippers winning this series, but then what is he going to have left? If they got to go and play the Thunder, let's say they play the Thunder after they beat the Mavericks, if they beat the Mavericks, that ain't going to be good for them. A bunch of young guys running up and down the court. Kawhi might be done by then. I hope not. I hope we can get Kawhi throughout this whole run so we can actually see what the hell the Clippers can do. I hope. But again, that might be just too much hope. There's your West and your East thoughts that I had real quick, that I wanted to get riddle off the top, because I'm just so excited about the NBA season. This is the best part. We get, us fans, we drudge through the 82 game season for this. This is what makes it special. So I expect this to be a great run. If we are to believe the best teams are usually the ones that meet, then maybe we'll get a Celtics and Nuggets finals. Man, oh man, that would be great. But that would mean the Celtics will have to take care of their business on the East side. That's a whole nother video that I'll get into as far as the Celtics and their chances going forward.